And the reason why I'm making this video, because I think reviewing my old beats, I have some lessons that I've learned from over 20 years of music making. And I want to also show you some progress of you're not going to start great right off the back. Unless you're a music prodigy, which most people aren't, you're not going to be great. So let's review some of my beats. Ugh, it sounds distorted. Intro is way too long. Yeah, I don't know. It just sounds terrible. End is here. Let's skip forward. Sounds atrocious. Let's see dial tone. I mean, hey, a lot of modern rappers got them hard pianos. I was on to something way back then. That's because I'm from the Midwest. We always did darker music. Look at that. I thought I was trying to make a beat from the dial tone of a phone. Terrible. Let's see. Got a song right here that says ABCs. Sound cheesy. Hey, that's enough of that one. Let's see. Ode to Joy. Yeah, I thought I was doing classical piano. Terrible. Let's see. I got this song that is just called Banger. Now, this better be a banger. Now, I don't know why I call it banger. I do like them congos and bongos, though. I ain't gonna lie. If I remade this song with some better instruments, all right, let's see if I improve. Let's go to beats 20 and see if I improved or anything. Let's see what I think. This funky soul. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that don't sound like I improved. Me trying to make R&B. I ain't improved. Let's see. Okay, let's skip to 30. Beats 30, and let's see if I've improved. Well, it sounds a little cleaner. The instruments are more mixed. I wouldn't say I improved. Let's see. What's this party starter? This definitely gonna be good. I think this was my Swiss Beats phase. Sounds like it. I still ain't do nothing. Look, Beats 40, Dance and Chill. Let's see. Let's see if I got better by Beats 40. Okay, I think this is my Britney Spears pop phase. Okay. Okay, that's sounding good. It's good for the time. It's definitely better than all my other stuff. You can hear stuff. Let's do this kick the breeze. Let's see what this sound like. Okay, this is definitely better. See, I definitely improved. So as you can see, how long and how much music I had to make just to improve of where I was and where I am now. As you heard and listened to, my music became better and better with practice. Now, this is usually the case for most people. When you practice something, you get better. Not everyone gets better. It just all depends. See, when I first started, I was in the habit of making music every day. Why? Because I took recording class and that's what I had in high school. So I had to do the class and I wanted to do it. I got straight A's in that class. So I built the habit of making music every day. Now I don't make music as much, but I have 4 lessons I learned from listening to my old beats. The first lesson, learn the fundamentals. Now, fundamentals can mean a lot of things depending on what you want to do with your music. If you want to just say be a mastering engineer or mixing engineer, or you want to be a producer or beat maker, or you want to be a teacher of music. But what I'm talking about for people who want to make music, the fundamentals is learning whatever program, whatever machine you have, and learning everything about it, the fundamentals. See, when I was taking recording lab in class, my teacher, man, Mr. Martin Mackey, he changed my life, man. This short little white guy that I don't even know to this day if he ever even made music. I've never heard any of his music, but he taught me how to use the machine. So what we had in school was a Roland Boss DR5 drum machine. This thing had 4 tracks and it had a whole bunch of instruments in it. And what the class was about was really just going through and how to use in this machine every single aspect of the machine. So each lesson was, how do you set a 4-bar loop? How do you set an 8-bar loop? How do you press record? How do you add song patterns? How do you make it together? There wasn't anything about critiquing our music, right? He never came to me and said, oh, that's not great music, or you need to turn the volume down because this instrument is too loud. He never did that. I made a beat and I felt this. Let's say the assignment was make a 4-bar, no, make an 8-bar loop and make the song 2 measures. I did that. So no matter what it sounded like, long as I fulfilled the goal, making an 8-bar loop with 2 measures, then I was fine. So learning the fundamentals helps you hone in your craft. These days, we got so many plugins. You're moving on to the next one before you really even know what you're using. I used that DR5 and I wore it out all the times when in high school. And even I wanted my own drum machine. I bought the same drum machine. I went to the music store. I saw all this other equipment, bigger keyboards, things that look better. But I said, no, I want the same exact drum machine that I've been using for 5 years because I know this thing in and out. I wasn't even enticed by any of that gear. But now, getting older and seeing social media and all these things, sometimes you'd be like, oh, should I buy that? I don't know. This person said this is better. This person said this is better, but this is shiny. It really looks nice. It doesn't matter. Learn the fundamentals of what you have. Lesson 2, it doesn't matter what equipment you start with. Like I said, I started with a Boss DR5 drum machine. I've actually been thinking about repurchasing that machine just because it was my first love. It was my first introduction into making music. But at the time, I knew about no other machines. I didn't know about no keyboards. or nothing. I was given the drum machine, the DR5, learn how to use it, and that's it. And eventually I upgraded. But going to my lesson number one, it helped me learn the fundamentals. And it made me realize at the time, I was still making a lot of music. I made a lot of beats, a lot of beat albums with this one machine that only had 4 tracks, right? I made more music in high school than I have now. And I have DAWs with infinite tracks, infinite plugin sounds that I can actually tweak and create. On the drum machine, you couldn't change the sounds. The sounds were just the sounds it is. I can do so many different things with a sound now. It doesn't matter what you start with. I know if you're getting into music production and you see everyone talk about different equipment, just start with one that speaks to you, right? I was fortunate enough to have this class in high school, and I just fell in love with it because that's all we had. So there was no real option about falling in love, but there's so many options. If something speaks to you, just get that equipment. I know you might not want to spend the money on it or feel like you're going to waste or have buyer's remorse, but if it says something to you, get it and learn it in and out. You can always sell it, trade it, and upgrade later on. And eventually, that's what I did. I sold my DR5, got some money for it, and then I upgraded to a bigger keyboard. The third lesson, practice, practice, practice. This cannot be said enough. When I look back to the time in my life when I was making music in high school versus now, yes, things were different, right? I didn't have all these different obligations as an adult, but let's just take all of that out the picture and focus on I was practicing a lot. I was honing my craft. I was building a habit of making music every single day. One, I was forced to because it was part of class. It was part of the requirements. But then I bought my own drum machine so I can do it at home. So I was practicing in school, and then I would practice at home. And I think we've lost the art of practicing and experimenting. And I think it's because of social media. I know I mention social media a lot, but we do a lot of comparisons to other people. You might watch someone and you think, man, their music is so good, and you wish you can be at that level right now. But I'm telling you, you're not going to be. When I first started making music, the only people I can compare myself to was the people in the class. And not everybody in the class who took it actually wanted to make music. Like, it's crazy because some people just came to the class. It was like one of those elective knockoff classes, and they were just shooting dice in the class. Yes, I know. I said it right. Shooting dice, gambling in the class. But there was a few people like me who took it seriously. You was not catching me doing that stuff. I'm making music in that class. But anyway, so I only had a small circle of people to compare myself with. Now you have essentially the whole world to compare yourself with. And I think that gave me a benefit of when the time I started, because I was just making things and getting better on my own and what I thought was better. There was no comparison of, oh, it's better according to Metro Boomin standards or commercial standards of radio. I just practice, practice, practice. And now I'm at the point where I've gotten my music placed in TV. So something has gone right with all that practice. I didn't start out wanting to make music for TV. Matter of fact, I didn't even think that was an avenue to do. My main goal then was to make music for artists. But I had never made music for artists at the time. I was like too scared to give my music to artists. And when I gave it to artists, I just gave them the beats free. I never thought about it being a business or anything. So it took time to understand that my music wasn't ready until years and years of practice. And that's what you need to do, is practice. I hope these lessons help you. Even if you're not a beginner, I hope it resonates in your mind and thinks about new ways of how you making music. I know for me, I still can see myself in high school being so excited. Like, Recording Lab was the only class I was really actually excited for to get to the class. I'm sad they only had one period of it, right? I would have taken every class. I wish I could just took recording lab, making all beats all day. That's all I did and get graded on it. But I just reminisce on it, and it feels good. So even though now that I feel like my beats aren't good, it just is what it is. Because in 10 years, even though I'm getting placements now, in 10 years I'll be like, that music ain't that great either. But it is what it is. So hopefully you have some new lessons and a new way to approach music for you. Don't get locked into box thinking that you have to do music how everyone else tells you how to do music. There's multiple ways to make money from your music if that's the route you want to go. And you don't have to have the best music ever. I'm proof of that with some of my music that's been placed in TV. And if you want to learn how to make music like that, check out one of these videos.